So there's been some rumors lately about Leatherman and especially the Leatherman Charge. And for a while, they weren't really that popular online, but now they are gaining traction. And I keep seeing these questions posed on different forums about multi-tools. And so let's address some of those rumors. And while I don't have the answers, let's walk through the potential impact on Leatherman if these are true. Now, according to some of the rumors online, one of the first tools that Leatherman will get rid of pretty soon in the next coming months will be the free T and the free K series. Now, personally, that will not be a very big loss to me. These are some of the least used Leathermans ever. I just don't find that much use for them. I think there's better options. I would probably more likely pick up a Victorinox, maybe, or probably definitely like the Roxxon Flex Companion rather than these. But Leatherman has tried their hand at the knife multi-tool market, and I don't think they've been extremely successful. It doesn't seem like they've invested that much energy in it, so I'm not surprised if these disappear. Now, the next bit of news that I do find a lot more troubling, and basically the reason I'm making this video is a lot of people are talking about the Leatherman Charge is disappearing. Now, I think that would be a mistake for Leatherman because there is so much potential with changing the scales on these, but it doesn't seem like Leatherman has really gone after that extremely. There are different times where they have made special editions, but I'm guessing that it's a lot more expensive to do that than just to change the color like you can with the Skeletal, and you can make all these different versions. So it seems like this is the road Leatherman wants to go down instead of making different scale choices, which I think is actually the better option, the more long-lasting option. But Leatherman will do what they want, so it seems potentially the Leatherman Charge could disappear this year if the rumors are right. Now, according to one of the posts on Reddit, the Leatherman Charge will be replaced by an upgraded Leatherman Wave. Now, the Leatherman Charge and the Leatherman Wave are essentially the same thing, except where the Leatherman Wave has this piece of metal that is bent over. With the Leatherman Charge, it is essentially cut flat, and they put an extra scale piece on each side. So that's the difference between these. I think the Leatherman Wave probably is the stronger tool, and this probably weakens this tool, but I think it's a really cool idea, and you can make a lot more lasting changes to the tool. And for most people, I don't think that's a huge deal. Now, with Leatherman, again, having a lot of people sending their tools perhaps in for warranty, I'm not extremely surprised that Leatherman would stick with the Wave Plus, and they would say, hey, this is the stronger frame. It's essentially the same thing as a Leatherman Charge. Let's just doctor up the Leatherman Wave. Now, will we see an increased blade steel, just like this rock tool blade that I put into my Wave? Will we see a better blade steel? Will they just change over the components from the Leatherman Charge? I mean, they can fit in your Leatherman Wave. I think they're the same thing essentially. So will they just move all that over, or will we see perhaps like a Magna Cut blade in the Leatherman Wave? I don't know. Those are some things that Leatherman will have to iron out. It will be interesting to see, will the gut hook still stay? Because that was one of the big things that the Leatherman Charge had that the Leatherman Wave never has. That was a pretty cool thing. And then, of course, their upgraded blade steel. This one has the S30V on this one right here, my titanium. So that was another bright spot in the Leatherman Charge. Now, if they move all those tools over to the Leatherman Wave, now we have the good tool set. It has upgraded tools. It's perhaps got a stronger frame, but there still isn't. To me, I really like that titanium option that the Charge had, and I think some other people will as well. I don't know if they'll go for like a titanium coating like some other people are doing with their multi-tools, but I have a hard time believing Leatherman will skimp that far to just have a titanium coating. Perhaps they will do more like a champagne coating like they did on the Leatherman Arc. I definitely could see that coming, where you essentially have an upgraded wave with that Leatherman Arc special treatment. So maybe we will see a Leatherman wave with something similar to the Arc Obsidian and all those dressed up elements. I don't know, but I definitely see Leatherman going that way. It seems to be the best cost ratio for them. They seem to make a lot of money when they make some slight changes. I think even changing tools over from the charge to the wave will have a lot of people buying the wave again. So the Leatherman wave was originally released in 1998. That's when the first generation came out. This isn't really an anniversary year, but we have seen a hint from Leatherman where they say in some of their advertisements, the Leatherman Wave 2025, stay tuned for what's next, essentially is what it says. So that does lend credence to the idea that something is coming up that may be a little special for the Leatherman Wave. Now, as the rumor goes, next year the Leatherman Arc will receive a couple more color updates. It seems like this is the direction that Leatherman is headed. And before we bash it, I do have to say Leatherman did an excellent job with the signal in the blacked out version with the blue handles and the blue sheath. I really like that. And every time on eBay I see a Skeletal that's a different color at a cheaper price, I am so tempted to just keep collecting and collecting them. So I've even been trapped by Leatherman's painting machine. So I think this may be the route that Leatherman takes, the route that is making the money. My personal thoughts on this is that now that Tim Leatherman is not at the helm, they are making options based on business instead of sentiment. Now, if I had designed several tools for Leatherman, I would definitely want my design tools to stay on the catalog because I designed them. And I think there would be a lot more sentiment, and I would keep them longer even if they weren't selling because, hey, I spent hours designing them, coming up with them, producing them. And so I understand why the crunch lasted so long, but now the crunch is gone due to poor sales, apparently. So I can understand why some tools are leaving now because they're not selling that well. Maybe that's what's up with the charge. And it does make business sense if people love collars to go ahead and do that. Now, I know that some people are complaining about Leatherman quality. I haven't noticed a huge dramatic drop, but I usually buy used Leatherman tools. Obviously, the Arc was new, and I bought a couple other brand new Leatherman tools. So I haven't noticed a huge drop in quality, but some of you have mentioned things like maybe plier tips breaking and so forth, and that may be an issue for Leatherman that they will have to address, but I still feel like their quality is a lot better than most every other company in the market. So let me know what you think about the Leatherman charge possibly disappearing in the comments below. There are off-brand tools that you can, with minor adjustments, use the Leatherman charge scales on. So even if the Leatherman charge disappears, you can get older models or continue to buy off-brand replicas or clones that still use some of those mods. Let me know in the comments below what you think.